So, welcome to my class, and I just can't get over this internet economics. That's why I want to. It's a new thing which has come up, and a very important part of economics today. Today we actually in a digital marketplace. So let's just get into it. So when you're talking about internet economics, it studies what production of digital goods, distribution of digital products, consumption of digital goods and services. So it also, in a way, I would want to show you, or it explores how technology impacts economic activities in the online realm. So online, offline today are terms which everybody knows about. So what are digital goods? So talking about that, what are digital goods? Can you tell me? Can you even think of it? So the products that can be delivered over the internet. So what are these products that can be delivered over the internet? And today internet has come to stay. No going back. In fact, we just had this International Book Day, and there were many posters showing that it's an end to these books, the story books, etc. We all know about the e-books and Kindle and all of that. Anyways, so what are digital goods? So products that can be delivered over the internet. Example, e-books that you know, softwares that so many softwares are there, and you can also think of the streaming media, different. Okay, and there's what is in when you're talking about the online realm. Another concept that comes is you will often hear network effects. Now what are they? So when more people use it, its value increases. So the value of a product, the value of a product or service increases as more people use it. Okay. Then you'll also hear about platform economy. Now what is this? So they are businesses that create value. How? By connecting producers and consumers in digital marketplaces. Okay, so once again, internet economics, we're talking about the digital marketplace, and we have what is the production of what? We're talking about production of digital goods and services, distribution of digital goods and services, consumption of digital goods and services. So we are talking about the online realm, and the three important concepts are digital goods, network effects, and platform economy. And going through it, what are the digital goods? Products that can be delivered over the internet, for example, ebooks, any software, or the streaming media that we had network, or we have rather. Now, what is a network effect? Which means the value of a product or a service increases as more people use it. And we have what is known as a platform economy, businesses that create value by connecting what? Producers and consumers in the digital marketplaces. Okay, so then let's just talk about the market structure. We've often done the market structure. When you're doing macroeconomics, you know about perfect competition, monopoly, and oligopoly. So also in digital marketing. But perfect competition is a market structure there where there are many buyers, sellers. There's a homogeneous product and easy entry and exit. But this is rare in the digital world. It's not there. So let's just talk about monopoly. A single seller dominates the market, controlling prices and output. And one great example is Google. Examples include Google and search engines. And then you have oligopoly. A few large firms dominate the market, often leading to competitive pricing and strategies, Microsoft, etc., and others too. Then you have, which is important, is what is the revenue model? How do they generate money after all? So talking about revenue models, we have what is again advertising, subscription, and freemium. Okay, so let's take advertising. Say Google. Let's take an example of Google. And okay, Facebook, etc. What do? They generate revenue through ads displayed to users. Whoever is using, you get to see some ads. Subscription, or you can say Netflix, Spotify, you must have heard these names. They charge users a recurring fee for access to content. So they charge some fee, a recurring fee, charge a recurring fee for access to content. And freemium, there are apps like Dropbox offer basic services for free but charge for premium features. So certain things they'll give you free, like for example Dropbox. So what does it do? They offer basic services for free, but they charge for premium services. Okay, so market structure again, just let me reiterate. In the market structure, more importantly, we have the monopoly and oligopoly. Monopoly and the revenue models. A revenue model, how do they collect money then? All these revenue is by advertisement, by subscription, and freemium. Let me talk about, say, advertising. Some example. Google is currently the world's largest and the most popular internet search engine, but when it first came on the scene, it lost money hand over fist. Its problem was that it was providing internet search results for free as a public good. People went to google.com, typed in a search term, and got uh, results without having to pay anything. This service was helpful to users, but Google would soon gone bankrupt if it hadn't stumbled onto a way to generate income from its services. So the solution was the same one that broadcast TV stations and newspaper had they've been using all along. So what are they? So Google would charge advertisers for the right to have their ads appear next to Google's free search results. Thus, for instance, if a person was using Google to search for the word, say, dog, the free search result would be accompanied by ads paid for by companies selling products related to that word, for instance, hot dogs, dog food, etc. Google search ads had an unintended casualty. They began to kill off newspapers. This happened because Google's targeted search ads were much more cost effective for advertisers than newspaper print ads. For example, if a company that wanted to sell dog collars took out a full, say, page ad in a newspaper, only a small percentage of that paper's readers would have had any interest in that ad, because the majority of them would have had no current need to buy a dog collar. But if that same company placed its ad only next to Google's search result that were generated for people who had been searching for, say, dog collars, then nearly every person who saw the ad might be in the market for a dog collar, and so on. I mean, there are various other examples that you can think about and you can talk about. So revenue and subscription, of course, you pay a certain amount, and then premiums means first you entice people, and then for a specific service ask them to pay. That's the revenue model. Then we have, let's talk about, say, examples of digital platforms, right? Like, for example, give me an example of a digital platform. You have, like, for example, Uber, which allow ride providers and ride seekers to interact. Like if you're talking about Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, which allow individuals to interact with each other and with advertisers. The Visa and the MasterCard networks, which allow consumers and the merchants to interact to complete payments. YouTube, Spotify, which allow media consumers to interact with media creators and advertisers. And search engines like Google, which facilitate interaction between advertisers and people seeking search results. So based on that, there's been a lot of disruption. So digital examples of digital platforms, once again, what are they? Like, for example, Uber. So what is Uber? Which allows ride providers and ride seekers to interact. Then if you're talking about Facebook, Twitter, etc., what do they do? They allow individuals to interact with each other, with advertisers. And if you're talking about Visa, MasterCard, so what do they do? These networks, they allow consumers and merchants to interact to complete payments. Then if you're talking about YouTube, so etc., what do? They allow media consumers to interact with media creators and advertisers. And if you're talking about Google, search engines, etc., so what does it do? They facilitate interaction between advertisers and people seeking search results. Now, once you go through all of this, you will realize that there has been, because of the digital era, there has been a lot of disruption in society. So let me just talk about that. So modern digital digitalization has revolutionized everything. The internet, what has it done? It has disrupted what traditional industries. So if, let's take retail. So retail, to even say transport. So if you're talking about retail, let's just take Amazon, and let's just take an example, say Uber, Ola, etc. And then this intermediation removes of course, important thing is that in a way, of course, it has been a disruption for traditional industries or traditional way. The all the middlemen, in a way, it has done away with middlemen. Middlemen done away with. Right? How? It all these intermediaries are removed. That is, that connect producer. So producers are directly connected with consumers directly. You don't have to pay a sum, or you don't have to bother about anything and all of that. And because of the online marketplace, another thing what has happened is, because of the online marketplace, there is a global reach. You want a product, you are getting it directly from China or wherever. Then convenience, you don't have to go select, you just make sure that whatever you're looking for is good enough, and if it doesn't really, if they don't the product is not as it's promised, you can even return it, and of course lower prices. So that has been a little disruption because in society, because of the digitalization. So in a way it is, I remember taxis were so very expensive, but with the Uber it has definitely, and sometimes you really don't need to have your own car. It's as if a chauffeur driven car just comes by wherever you want to go, how, whatever time, they are at your beck and call. So that is what is perhaps disruption in society, the traditional disruption, but digitally it has helped society or the consumers in a big way. Now let me elaborate a little on Amazon. Well, it was founded in 1994 as an online bookstore. Amazon has grown into a global e-commerce giant today. You get A to Z, everything from A to Z. You see that smile? That's there. So anyways, that's Amazon, the smile that you see. Okay, and Amazon is the greatest river in volume in South America. So that is Amazon, huge. And it has actually, it is today a global e-commerce giant. Its platform connects buyers and sellers, leveraging network effects and data analytics for personalized recommendations too. And there's so much of data, there's so much of information about the product, the people who write about them, and based on that you actually order your product. And you have this Amazon Prime and Amazon Web Services. They're the key revenue drivers of this particular platform. So, talking about again, we were talking about the retail Amazon. So, what are the challenges and opportunities? Let's talk about that. So, now talking about challenges and opportunities, there are three things that have to be considered: privacy concerns, then regulation, how to regulate, and innovation, how to innovate. So, privacy concerns is balancing data collection with user privacy is a key challenge. That you want to collect data. So, data collection, you're collecting data, but how to give that the user privacy, that has to be really worked out. Then regulation, the government worldwide today are grappling with how to regulate digital platforms fairly. So a whole lot of, I think, law etc. also will be a new law that has to be really moduled or made based on all of this. And I mean, regulate digital platforms fairly, regulation by the government. It is a big challenge that one has to face in today's world, and of course the opportunity, many opportunities here. And then talking about innovation, the internet continually drives innovation, creating new business and models and opportunities. There's no end to innovation here, and how to, of course these are opportunities, and also how to, who's going to be the whistleblower etc., how to go about this. And so in regulation, what is important is that the government has to come in terms with cyber security crimes. It's got to take a note of that. A lot of hackers all over the place. There's so many cyber attacks. A whole lot of industry which is just working on it. So this is one great challenge that one has to really face. So, and the cyber crimes have grown in such numbers that it's unimaginable. And how much of, so much of cybercrime is there. That's one big challenge that one has to really take note of. So, of course, it's very important, but we really have to work on this account. The realm of internet and is, or the digital economics is, one can't even imagine. So talking about the future trends, every day today we hear is, that is artificial intelligence and automation. Your car's also automatic driven. It's your computer that actually drives your car. It's the your today you don't need any maps. The GPS tells you where to go, how to go. You don't even have to bother. So machine learning and the artificial intelligence technologies are transforming industries and workflows too. So with this, industry is also changing, and so are workflows. Then we have what is the blockchain, that is potential applications in finance, supply chain, and digital rights management. So these are new areas that are coming up. There's so much to learn, so much to control. Applications in finance, supply. You also will be talking about what is the Bitcoin, that is digital money, which is already revolutionized, say economics, the industry, etc. And then you have 5G, and faster connectivity and the Internet of Things will create new economic opportunities. There's no end to it. In fact, already one feels that, at least I feel that one doesn't know much about all of this. There's so much to study. There's a whole lot to be written, to be understood in economics, in the digital arena. So to conclude, I can just say that Internet economics is a dynamic field shaping our digital future. So understanding these concepts is crucial for business, policymakers, and consumers in navigating the online landscape. And India has really progressed. Digital India is amazing. The way digital payments are being made, the UPI, etc. I mean, it was unthinkable, and today it's even a small little vendor will have that Paytm there, how to go about it. I mean, it's mind-boggling. So, of course, I'll be doing a little more on this, and thank you for joining in the class. In the next class, I'll maybe elaborate a little more on it. Well, thank you. So, before we close off, what is Internet economics? Write down. What are the key concepts? What are digital goods? What is the platform economy? Right? So I want you to tell me that. Write it down. So what is the market structure of digital marketing? So which are the few large firms that dominate the digital marketing? Which lead to competitive pricing? How is advertising so important for revenue? How is revenue generated? Talk about what do you mean by freemiums, and what disruption has the digital economics brought about in the traditional economics as such, and what are the challenges and what are the opportunities. And I want you to make a case study of Amazon and explain the whole thing with the help of an example, with the help of the case study. That's it.